Hello everybody, welcome to another episode here on our 1.9 snapshots. Yeah, I'm just having a little bit of fun with TNT here, making this path through here a little bit bigger actually. We are up, and I'll show you now. We are, in fact, better put some torches down because something's bound to spawn whilst we're away, isn't it? Yes. In fact, if we go through here first, this is the cave, and as you can see here, I've made a little path through, and it comes out over here, and then it continues on round. Just show you where it goes. Through here to the next set of coordinates, which is here. And this is where our path is going to continue from the wheat farm and then into this forest here. In fact, we've got two ways of going. Into the forest there, or carrying along this way over that way towards the second stronghold and the Mesa biome. So, whereas that way heads towards the witch farm. So what I need to do is basically make this tunnel through here. In fact, why don't we try? I don't know how well this will work or how much TNT I'm going to need. In fact, I'll put 2 there, and some of this may sort of make a big hole, some of it may not. We'll just have to find out. I can never remember on these how far apart you need to sort of really put them to sort of, yeah. Whoa, and we don't need any more there, so I've got some blocks on me. I have. Let's just shimmy up after I've eaten, and let's go. Not bad, not bad. Let's go and have a look and see what it's done. It's got a lot of way through. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. I'm trying to make a natural cave. In fact, that was perfect, wasn't it? The only thing we didn't really do was make a big sort of hole there, I guess. So let's just do that as well. Still got some lighting bugs and updates in this snapshot, as you can see there. That's not lit up at all, but it is now. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so we'll just need to chisel an entrance through here, so that's good. I'm happy with that. Let's just light it up a little bit, and we can go and do the other side as well. And you can see where this snapshot is buggy. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to do it all. So what I'm going to do is build a sort of an edge walkway around here that kind of goes around this area here, and then that's going to come down into here, which is pretty cool. And then let me just go and show you where this is, and then I can carry on and chisel this out a little bit more. And the aim for this will be, and I might even widen this a little bit, so I'll probably put a little bit in TNT, so we'll probably get rid of that water there. But you can see if we fly across here, almost, you can see where we're at now. This is this tunnel that we're going to have a waterfall coming down there. So yeah, just having some fun with TNT. I made a load up from all our witch farm goodies. Might as well go this way. Yeah, so I can just blast my way through here because it's a lot easier than trying to do it with a pick. That would just take far too long and is nowhere near as much fun. Yep, that's definitely a much better cave going through there now. So I might have to rebuild some of this up a bit because that went a little bit too far. But that's okay. We can kind of mold these into what I want now. And the idea is going to be that we're going to put a pathway around it, a man-made pathway. Probably a wooden path or something like that, to mimic as if you were, you know, going through caves. So you're not going to drop down there. You're just going to come into the entrance and you're going to keep going straight ahead. And then you'll make your way all the way through these caves, even with these sort of bits underneath you and whatnot. And we're going to make them into sort of yeah, try and mould them into a nice sort of good looking cave as if these were just caves we're passing through. But I'm happy with that. We just got a bit of stuff to get rid of here. And we've got another skelly. Where did you come from? Are you there? Right, okay. Go away. I didn't even know that was up there when I first came in here. It was so dark. Our water source is behind here still. But yeah, that's fine. Now you may notice I've done some slight changes to this witch farm, and you may be able to hear the reason why. Yeah, so switch the lights on. Did we do that? We did. They are on. Good. Okay, yeah, so we have a slight challenge in this, in that for some reason it's not there. Yeah, for some reason we are getting, well, I guess very logical reasons, spiders are only 1 high. Spiders are spawning within the farm, and that means, oh, there they are down the bottom, and I've just lost that now. That's annoying. That's okay, I will fix that in a moment. But yeah, I've had to put these sort of bits on here whereby we can come in and sort these guys out. The only other way of doing it would be, I guess, that should resolve it. The only way of doing it would be to go quite far away, but not via the nether, so that we let them despawn. But yeah, need to go and get myself another slab now, because that's probably gone all the way down the bottom. But that's something we're going to work on today, is the items. Let's see, are my slabs in here? They are indeed. Yahoo! What can I get rid of that? Yeah, so what I want to do today is actually work on our item elevator for this area. We are in latest snapshot, which is 50A, and this snapshot, did I lose one of those as well? It's had, again, a lot of bugs, but we've actually had some new sounds put into the game. So things like the squids and things like, actually, can we get, let's see, we've got something here. Let's bake some potatoes. Put those in. Just about hear it there because it's a bit further away, but if I get a bit closer. Anyway, there's a crackling sound that comes from the furnace when you're next to it. Placing things like water has sound. Placing things like the lily pads and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so there's a load of new sounds added in, and they've brought back the sounds for hoeing and the shovel, because they kind of disappeared. So that's all good. Yeah, all happy as far as that goes. Did I have some food up here cooking apart from those? No. Have I got some in here? Just normal food. I thought I'd loaded chicken. Obviously didn't. Right, baked potato it is then. Nom nom nom. Okay, eating too much. So we've held off until now because we wanted to make sure the snapshots weren't going to break this again. But as you may recall, the item elevators got broken in this version of Minecraft. Simply put, all to do with the way that they changed the collision boxes and all that kind of stuff. So we could no longer, well, the glitching more than anything, but we could no longer glitch the items into the glass columns we did previously. However, there are a couple of solutions, and you may recall a few episodes ago we put this marker here, and this marker, if you go all the way down to the bottom, comes out where all our witch farm items are. So yeah, what we're going to do is build this in 3 parts. So an item elevator consists of three sections really. It's the bottom bit, which is how the items get into the elevator. There's then the elevator itself, which basically is a series of blocks like this, and it doesn't even have to be glass, but I'm using glass because I want to be able to see the items. So I'm going to put a glass tube from the bottom all the way up to the top, and then once they come out the top, we've got to sort them and make sure they go somewhere. So yeah, let's let's have a look down the bottom here. So I think the first thing I will do is get this glass tube section built, because that's really going to sort of make sure I know where it is, and then I can work out how things go in. So if we look there, that's another part of it, and that carries on down. And if we go all the way down to the bottom here, this is then the bottom section, which is where the glass elevator will have to start, essentially. So we need to get the items into it there. This, by the way, is my little auto smelter thing, or I started working on it but I haven't finished it. So the idea is, and we haven't got any, but if we get some ores and things like that, we can automatically smelt them down here. And at the moment, this is where all our witch sticks are going. So the witch sticks, I can hear you. The witch sticks are being used as the fuel for those furnaces. So that's what the idea behind all that is. Okay, and get these little guys now. You can go away. So yeah, the idea is that all these witch sticks come down into this hopper here, as you can see, and then they go all the way along here and drop down into any hoppers that are not full. And I've kind of filled these spaces up so we don't have to have sticks in all of them. We only need the one slot there, and that will then fuel anything. And then this top bit here, a minecart of a chest will go across the top of these hoppers, and it will distribute any ores into these furnaces, and then they in turn, when they're done, drop out through the bottom into these hoppers and end up in this chest here. So yeah, that's all coming together. So we just need to fit up the minecart this end of it, so when we put them in, they can then automatically distribute around. They will then go into the chest, as I say, and then we'll have to work that back into our system, which is going to be this. And this is all our witch stuff, which is everything apart from gunpowder, because I've come and there's my yeah, I came and got the gunpowder out of it. Does that mean the slabs in here? It is. Look, see, no problem, we'll leave that in there for now. Right, so what I'm going to do is literally build this up all the way up to the top now, and I think the easiest way to do it would literally be hopefully to go upwards, not have anything drop on our heads, and work our way all the way to the top. One of the other reasons I like to fill the whole thing out with glass, although it could be absolutely any material you want, is this, in that you need to make sure there is no air gaps at all in this. So we've just come up here, and I forgot completely that there was a cave here. So had we just taken it at face value from the bottom and the top, that it fitted, and as it turns out it didn't, we'd be losing all our items here. So yeah, it's probably a good idea to make sure you do this, and just fill it all the way up so you know that you've got you know, a solid 9x9, although I don't think it even needs to be 9x9. I think as long as you've got the cross shape in it, then these corner ones don't matter so much. But the theory of what we're doing is this whole thing of if we've got items there, and if we want to place a block there, you can see they came through the block, and you don't want them glitching through the sides at all. So yeah, the mechanics of this really rely on the fact that it's solid blocks all the way around, and I like to make sure. So I make sure I do a sort of 3x3. Here we are at the top. Yay! So as you can see, all the way down to the bottom, so that's where we're going to bring the items from. For now I'm going to leave it like that, because when we test it, I want to see that these pop out the top. So I think what we need to do now is get some bits and pieces together, and then we'll head down to the bottom and start putting all the sort of the area to glitch these items into the item elevator together. This is where we want the items to come into our elevator. So this is the elevator here, and so we'll probably use a dropper or something like that, and get the items into a water stream and then push them down into the block there. And then we're going to do some sort of clever things to actually get the items to go up into the elevator. I'm going to give a big shout out at this point to sZPeddy. Now Peddy, I just go and check his channel out. I'm going to put a link to his tutorial that he's done on this, and he's done a few on the item elevators and different ways you can do it, and this is just one way. You can use doors, you can do other things, but we're going to use pistons. And it's basically his video I've been watching, a tutorial I've been watching to to sort of do this, because there's several ways you can do it, but this is the way we're going to do it. Now down here we've got to put a couple of sticky pistons, which I haven't got. And there they are. In fact, let's just get these items out of here while we're at it, and then we're going to have to dig around and get these powered in a moment, but for now we want these going along here, although we don't need them all the way along, do we? Let's have a look. So we need a pressure plate, so that's going to go there. Now what this essentially is going to do, let's just put that there, and then we get rid of this one and whatever's below it as well. That's rather clever. Okay, and this one just needs to be a solid block, so we'll put some glass in there, and then the idea is with the water stream, and there's that sound, so the items will essentially, as we put them in there, they go fast along there, and then they go slowly over this bit, so that's all good. And then we want another water bucket to continue the process along. And then the idea is going to be, as they go along there, these pistons, when the pressure plate isn't active, in other words nothing going on, it's going to shoot up. The pistons themselves are going to push up the items, so yeah, which is pretty sort of clever, neat idea really. So let's get the redstone in place for that. Now the redstone for this is pretty simple. It's basically a redstone torch on the packed ice by the pressure plate there. We then put down 3 blocks down here next to the pistons, so they kind of stop where the second piston is. We have a repeater here on full 4 delays, and then 2 bits of redstone, and it is simple as that. So in theory, let's just put these 9 bits of redstone in. They're going to go across, and boom, they've gone. So they've shot up there, and if we go all the way to the top, they should be sat up there waiting for us. So let's go and have a look. But I say, go and check out Peddy's channel. I will put a link in the description, as well as a link to his tutorial for this. He's got quite a few different tutorials on there for redstone. I think he knows that my redstoning skills are not that great. He did comment on some of the stuff I was doing with pistons, but there it is. Look, the redstone is sat on the middle piece of glass there, which is fantastic. So yeah, that's working nicely. Now the only thing we need to do here is get a way of capturing that and then putting it into a system. The other thing as well is these things will shoot up really high, so we have to make sure that when we build this up, we put a kind of a roof on it to make sure it doesn't fly too high, if you like, and we've got to kind of control where the items are coming out. So yeah, but I think this is going to be a nice solution. So thanks to Peddy for coming up with it for us. Well, he didn't really come up for us, but yeah, it makes our life a lot easier. And I think this is it's a nicer one than the doors. The doors are all well and good, but yeah, you know, they're noisy, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether they handle as many items. We might get a lot of items. We might only get a few items. So either way, we need to be able to control that. So yeah, that's all good. So what I'm going to do at the top here is this is going to be where they're going to come out, and we'll probably have maybe a water stream or a hopper there to capture it. But I'm just going to build this up to the ceiling and put some glass on the top there, so that's going to be kind of our roof for it, like that. And if we just use this to step out a second, fill that in. Yeah, so what we really need to do now is work out how we're going to take the items when we got them here? Do we get them to land in water and then come over into a hopper, and then that might then go around to the rest of the system? Yeah, kind of makes sense to me, so maybe that's the way we'll do it. So for now, I'm just going to do it like that. I think we've got to work out our storage system properly. So let me just seal that all the way off so there's no gaps, and we'll do the same here. Yeah, let's just do that one again. There we go, that'll do. I'll get that with a piece of glass later, it's not necessarily. So in theory the items will shoot up, they'll fall back in that water, and then they'll start falling into these hoppers. Now let me just put a few more in place. In fact, we could probably do it from here, going into there, into there, into there, into there. So it's just really some temporary storage while we work out a bigger storage system here and how we're going to order it. But we effectively should have all our items coming up into that water stream, and then they'll go down these hoppers, fill up the bottom chest and that chest, exactly the same as we've got at the bottom. So that's nice and simple. So all we need to do now is give that a test, and then once I'm happy that it's working and all going into the chest, then it's just a case of connecting this bottom bit up, I guess, which should be fairly simple because we've already got the bottom bit worked out. Oh, hello. You go away. Wow. Yeah, so we've kind of already got the bottom bit done in the sense of these here. So all I really need to do is keep that going across, and then just have them, as I say, dispense into there really in the same way. In fact, how have we done it here? These just drop into these hopper, they get sorted. Yeah, so I just really need to keep this going across. And we probably could, rather than sort of extending these hoppers, we probably could just get them to dispense here into a water stream, and then bring the water stream, carry on the stream along or something. So let me get that set up, but I think before we do it, let's throw 5 chests into the water, watch those go all the way up, and they've gone, and I'll see that they're at the top. That's a bit of a problem. I guess we haven't got enough gap, because they not only came through there, they carried on up. So I think I'm going to lower this down a little bit. Aha! It appears to be working. Now, I'm not quite sure which solution it was, but I had a couple of air gaps just there. So I had this bit, but it was too wide. So I filled that in, and I've actually lowered it down one. So we've now got 2 pieces of glass, I want to say. Yeah, so we've got 2 pieces of glass and the solid bricks as well. So we've got at least 3 there. So I'm not sure which one makes a difference. But it seems to be working now anyway, so yeah. But it may well be because I had that extra air gap there, I'm not sure. We'll have to check on that. But anyway, I'm happy that's all working without losing any items there. Right, I'm hoping I've fixed this now, so let me show you this quickly first. This is where I've continued the line along, so all the items will come into this dropper, and then we've got this exactly the same as we've got it above. We've got a comparator. Just making a very simple clock, so when an item goes in there, the comparator turns on and the circuit is made. So what I'm going to do is put in 64 of those 4 items, and they're all going to get kicked out, although obviously we're going to lose some because we haven't got this all sealed off. So we probably ought to do that. We'll probably make it better in a short while anyway, just for testing purposes. So we'll stick that there like that. And hopefully, I think the way this works is it does, when there's a gap between those items, it'll then kick it off and go up. But just to make sure that's happening, because I'm not seeing it so far, and there's a lot of items almost did then. There we go. Yeah. So that's good. So they'll all go up in batches. Now what I did find was the solution I came up with is to actually add more air gaps between the top and then the sort of the stopper blocks. So I think there was too few, and every now and then it was just going so fast it would glitch through the blocks. But we will check that in a second. We may not get all 64 of each because they were dropping out the side there, but this is where they'll come shooting up and then land in that water, and we just saw some going past then, and there they are, all going into those hoppers. Yeah, they seem to be bouncing. So yeah, I've added another air block there. As you can see, they're hitting the roof and then coming back down again because they have such speed, and I think we needed those extra air blocks really to allow it to, I wouldn't say time to slow down, but it needed them to know that they were air blocks, and we're not getting any glitch through here at all now. So we just had to lift this up by one as well as lower the other ones down, but that seems to be good, and perhaps we ought to just check how many air blocks we got here for you guys to do that. So after we've eaten, of course, let's see. So we've got that one up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 air blocks we've got above it, and that seems to be happy. So happy about that. As it's happy, I'm happy. Let's see how many we've got. That's the other thing I noticed as well. Half of these seem to be going in there, and half going in there. So I'm not quite sure whether is a hopper speed or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure Peddy will probably comment or tell me, because he does like to joke at my wonderful redstone skills. Let's just see how many we ended up with. So there's a couple of those missing, but they might have been missing down at the bottom there. There's nowhere else really for them to have gone. There's none in there, none in the hoppers. So I guess they could have glitched out at the bottom when we were messing around down there. Well, I'm not quite sure how they ended up there. Hey guys, invading by slimes. Yeah, a few items seem to have shot all the way down there, which is a bit peculiar. So it's something I'll have to keep an eye on. But, you know, to be perfectly honest, most of this is going to be for the stuff we're getting down here, which we're getting by the bucket load. So if we do lose one or two, I'm not really going to be that bothered. But it'd be interesting to know how they're ending up over there, because they're not speeding through that way. But I must admit there are some weird glitchy stuff still in these snapshots, so maybe there's something in the bugs that need ironing out, because I've done it before where I've thrown an ender pearl and accidentally glitched into a block, and then I've turned up, you know, 500 blocks in a different location, which is really odd and bizarre, and I've had that a couple of times. So yeah, maybe there's something glitchy when it went through and it just ended up down here for some reason, I don't know, and maybe that'll get ironed out in the new snapshots. But there it is, it's all working, so that's pretty cool. I'll get this sealed up so it's nothing can come out of it at all. We'll put the glass back on. I haven't got the glass with me here, so we can see it happening as well, because that's always nice. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I'm just going to now spend some time monitoring it, just doing some AFKing, making sure it's all working okay, because obviously there's nothing coming through from the witch farm at the moment, although it would be easy enough to grab a few things like that and stick them in there like that, and, you know, get them coming up through, I guess. Yeah, so I could probably do some of that anyway, but yeah, I'll do some monitoring and we'll see how well it's working. But I think that's probably where we'll call it an episode for now. Kind of run out of time for today, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Do leave me a like, leave me a comment too, and don't forget to check out Peddy's channel as well. Go and give him a like, go and subscribe to his channel, and leave a comment, tell him how awesome he is, and how great it is to see his work in progress here on my Let's Play. So join me next time. Bye for now.